Hey, today we're here at Arlington Public Works. I'm working here and I'm showing you around my apprenticeship. This apprenticeship is really important to me because it gives you the hand that you will never learn in a textbook. There's certain trade secrets that you'll never learn just by doing notes, reading a book. But also, working here especially, I have all the guys here that are able to help me, and just, if I have a question on anything, they're always right there to help me. So that's what's just perfect about this place.
There you go. I've been working really closely with Ryan the last couple months, doing all sorts of different things. In my opinion, the apprenticeships are actually a really great idea because you don't know what the job is like until you actually go out and experience it a little bit, you know, with your own two hands. You know, some people love it and some people don't like it, but it's good to kind of test it out before you're committed to it.
Ryan doesn't know the trick yet. Well, we're teaching him. You use your right arm and sneak past it to the right. And if you pull it out quick enough, you can.
Well, it was good for the body.
You can only get some on your hands.
Something like this, you can't just teach someone how to take a tire off, put a tire on, dismount a tire. There's kind of some tricks you learn by actually doing it hands-on, and that's some of the most important stuff here. And he catches on pretty quick.
We signed up for the District 214 Pathways program because we feel that it's important, not just for us, introduce people to what we do as public works so that they see that as a career in the future, but again, to introduce them to the workforce, to get them some life skills, to promote the career, especially as an automotive technician. But yeah, this is our traffic unit, so their job, they maintain all of the traffic signals, the street lights. They're also electricians. They do a lot of electrical work in our buildings and things like that. This is all the standard for all these signs, and he has the ability to build most of these here in-house. I would just like to say I really hope that we can continue this partnership because it's working out well, and I would like to be able to help influence other students in the future with their future endeavors.
I just love the environment here, honestly. Just being here, coming here every day, I'm never dragging myself here to work. I'm here to learn and have a good time. And overall, the guys here give me a good experience. And I'd like to thank Arlington Heights Public Works for giving me this opportunity and being so took me in as one of them and really showed me the ropes of everything. And I really appreciate that.
We're at the 2025 Senior Olympics.
So today, students from some of our LTS classes, Leadership Through Service from Elk Grove High School, came in as a field trip to do some Senior Olympics with the senior citizens.
Yes, Senior Olympics, it was a blast. Oh my God, this was fantastic. Oh my God, we're back in the game, we're back in the game.
We're doing a bunch of different games. My team just finished throwing footballs in bins. We're doing bags, bocce ball, and I think we're also doing Wii bowling, so that's fun.
My favorite part was winning Rod.
And I think to myself,
test mic 2, test mic 1.
What a wonderful world.
Now that man he's, by the way, if you see his Wii bowling skills, whew, out of this world, okay? And he's a good coach too.
This is great, us to get together and exercise, and these girls and guys that volunteered their time for the high school to help us out. Awesome, I really appreciate this. Just thank you very much, and thank you for your time and all the stuff that you do for us.
I'm just having a lot of fun, and I think this is really nice, and thank you.
And in first place. Fighting fedoras.
A big community effort at Arlington Heights today is making Chicago proud. The students at John Hersey High School collected nearly 38,000 food items for local families. Donations will go to 8 area food pantries as many families face those delays in SNAP benefits.
which is really exciting. The whole school is here helping out, and the vibes are really high.
Over there! Yep, over there! Yes, sir! Yep.
I think my favorite part is everyone coming together, even if the people aren't in the SOS class. You see all your friends in their second period just helping with everyone as a whole school.
Our teacher, Mr. Gunther, likes to call it controlled chaos, so it looks chaotic, but our seniors in the SOS class have put so much work into this. We started at the beginning of the year planning, so although it looks chaotic, it's just because there's so many people. But as you can see, everything's organized and everyone's helping out, so it's really cool to see everyone.
I just think it's really special that we do stuff like this and we can get the whole school involved to collect cans for people.
Hi, my name is Tony Rodriguez. I'm the community arborist with Oaklands, and we're working with District 214 today to plant trees all throughout your campuses. One of our main focuses when it comes to working with schools is making sure that students understand the benefits of trees and the benefits that trees have on campuses. So do y'all see this root that's coming out right here? Yeah. Notice how it's nice and thick, and it's a lot bigger than like this one that's growing out of here. So this is what we call the first lateral root. So we want this lateral root to be right at ground level, same as the root flare.
It's really cool being out here today because I'm learning a lot about what trees need to stay happy and healthy, and about how to properly create a hole that's the right size for a tree to live in, to make sure that it has a long and healthy life.
This is my dance group.
Whenever we're working with little kids, they love doing this part. So today we're planting 19 trees on the school campus. There's going to be a variety of trees that are native to the area. So we have swamp white oaks, we have some more ornamental service berries, and some smaller trees that are going to be going closer to the building.
I wanted to do this because I wanted to help out my community, and I wanted to get some hands-on experience, especially with planting trees, because you can't really do that every day. And mostly because for FFA, this is really good practice and everything.
All right, so are we done?
No.
Why do you think we're not done yet?
The root flare.
Yep, we gotta spread it out, and the root flare is buried right now, right? So let's go ahead and spread out the soil.
I wanted to be a part of this because as an FFA officer, I'm very passionate about plants and agriculture, and I thought it would really be a good opportunity to learn more about trees and planting, because that's not an area I'm super familiar with.
Not only am I an arborist and working with trees, but it's really important for me to be out working with communities and helping bring trees into their communities. So it's really awesome for me to travel around a lot to different areas and help these communities get more trees.
I think anyone who's watching this, if they could join your local FFA or just go out of your way to plant some trees, help out the community and the ecosystem.
Today we're here at Prospect High School, and we're going over some really good songs and stuff, because I never met any of these people, but we all just came together and we're all singing it. Mr. Music is pretty nice and stuff. He's teaching it really well.
Just that, put your music down.
Teaching feels like a calling for me, and especially teaching these concepts.
Yeah, you're not setting it down. You're going like this. The storm is passing over. I want that big of a difference. The storm, 1 and 2 and 3 and. The storm is passing over. Yeah. The storm is passing over.
We are performing the oldest and, in my arrogant opinion, best art form and most human art form, and that we're using our human bodies to make art that only exists in the space of time. The most beautiful part of humanity is when we're all together doing something in unison, and so that was the point of today.
I'm really excited to hear the final product because a lot of people here are talented, all of us are talented, and I believe that someone out there is giving us this gift and we're using it to empower and to also inspire other people, and I hope we learn from each other too and Mr. Music. was really particular with what he chose as a song, with songs, because he chose like songs that are really meaningful. And like, for example, like Draw the Circle, it's basically kind of like, it brings us together. Honestly, I really felt that earlier.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank Miss T and the whole team here for inviting me in to do this. Everybody from the high schools around, and I love, like I said, I'm living my dream, and so I love coming in and sharing this message of music and community with everybody, and I think it was a wonderful day.
Ready? Okay. Call to order the Board of Education meeting for Township High School District 214 for Thursday, May 21st, 2026. Ms. Marini, can I have a roll call?
Baldino? Here. Chung? Here. Dessling? Here. Heineman?
Present.
Kreutzer? Sager?
Here.
Fiorito?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Can I get a motion and a second to go into closed session for the purpose of discussing the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees, specific individuals who serve as independent contractors in an educational setting or legal counsel for the public body, collective negotiating matters between the public body and its employees or their representatives, or deliberations concerning salary schedules for one or more classes of employees, and litigation.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Baldino, second by Chung. Roll call, please.
Baldino? Yes. Chung?
Yes.
Dessling? Yes. Heineman?
Aye.
Sager?
Aye.
Fiorito?
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0.
Okay, we hope to be back by 7 o'clock. Allegiance, can I ask Mia Christensen, student at Elk Grove?
To the flag of the United States, which it stands, one nation, under God, justice for all. Good evening. My name is High School. Tonight, I am here to share a project a year ago, stemming from my freshman by Dr. Rowe himself. My class was an issue in our community and present a solution exactly what Elk Grove Village was missing. Park. While I myself am not to say friends have physical or emotional barriers. The result, kids and belonging. When I saw examples of communities, I felt inspired. Levels could play together safely. That every child matters and deserves. This is the kind of opportunity I am inspired to advocacy skills I have been taught in my own school. The village trustee, I continue to reach out, research specific ADA guidelines, and present my solution to an expanded committee. I am proud to say that construction is tentatively scheduled for June. What excites me most about this project is that it started from a single classroom assignment. One opportunity to be creative and reflect on my community led me here tonight, sharing this vision with all of you. This project reflects the true values and links behind the education system. When students are given the chance to think creatively, the results are far more impactful than whatever their grade may be. In the end, my dream is simple but powerful, that no child is ever negatively impacted because of something beyond their control. Every family deserves to feel welcomed and supported by their community. I am proud to be part of a community so accepting and open to all ideas. Thank you so much for your time and have a good evening.
Don't go away yet. Mia, come up here for a second. We have 2 Elk Grove residents on our school board, Ms. Kreitzer and Dr. Sager. Can you tell us where the park exactly is at in Elk Grove?
It's going to be at Roosevelt, which is right next to Bird.
By Bird
Yeah.
School, where my kids went, where your kids went.
Perfect.
Thank you very much. It was a really great story.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Congratulations, Mia. Great job.
Yeah. All right, first item is second.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions, issues?
Young?
Yes.
Baldino? Yes. Dustling?
Aye.
Fiorito?
Yes.
Motion.
Approval of the minutes for May 7th, 2026 board meeting.
So moved.
Moved by Baldino.
Second.
Any questions or issues?
Yes. Chung? Yes. Dustling?
Aye.
Sager?
Aye.
Fiorito?
Next item is student recognition. And I'll turn it over to Dr. Rowe.
Recognize our Richard Kalish. Thank you. Will David Cal please join us up front for recognition of the recipients? Each year, the Richard W. Kalish Arts Unlimited Award is presented to the high school senior at each school who has best exemplifies creative excellence in the arts. This award is District 214's way of honoring Mr. Kalish's spirited commitment to and support of the fine and performing arts program when he was a teacher in District 214, a career that spanned more than 30 years. This year, we are proud to recognize one outstanding student from each of the 6 high schools. David Kalish, son of Richard Kalish, will join us in presenting the award this year, and I would like for him to say a few words, if you will.
Thank you. I have a little script up here because if I don't stay on script, I might be up here for a while talking about my dad. My dad would be 96 years old this year, so I'm not sure if there's any in the room who actually knew my father or remembered him. And so when Mr. Maggie's office asked me if I wanted to say a few words, I thought this would be a nice time to introduce him to those of you who have never met him. My father was an academic and an athlete. He was a Marine, he was a poet, he was a disciplinarian, and he was a mentor, but most of all, he was a teacher of young people, and he loved it. He believed that education was more than just learning about facts. It was learning to participate in this world, and about finding a voice and learning how to join the conversation, that age-old conversation about what it means to be human. He believed that every subject in the school helped those students understand their relationship with the world around them, but he believed that the arts had a different place. He believed that the arts were about helping students understand their relationship with themselves, and that's where he believed education needed to begin. Because my father was because my father believed that art was ultimately about choices, why this note instead of another, or why this color, or why this image, or why this word. And behind those choices is our background and our beliefs and our experiences. But examining choices is a door that swings in both directions. In one direction, there is what can I learn about myself by examining these choices? And in the other direction, there is what can I appreciate about others by understanding their choices? And so it was that spirit in his humanities class in the late 60s at Elk Grove High School. After studying the Renaissance, my father started a week-long project that he aptly named the Renaissance, since he was a grenadier at Elk Grove. And he asked his students to create their own arts, and they wrote their own sonnets, and they wrote their own music, and they even painted the underside of desks while lying on their backs so that they could discuss the choices that they made in creating that art. Eventually, he brought in outside artists and authors and musicians to talk about their process, and then he organized art shows in the community, he organized art shows in the school, he scheduled drama, and he scheduled music. And eventually, that week-long celebration that started in his class became a month-long celebration in the schools. In 1976, it got rebranded from the Renaissance to Arts Unlimited, and it moved to all schools within the district. My father believed that all art is in some way asking a question, who am I, and what do I believe, and how do I share that honestly? But he also believed that there was another question that was just as important, and is what do you believe, and how can I be a better human by understanding you? So tonight, when you receive the Richard Kalish Award, you are not just being recognized for excellence in talent alone. You are being recognized for your willingness to examine your own ideas, your own experiences, and your willingness to stand with other artists and share those with the world. That's what makes you part of something very special. So congratulations. And I'm sure that my father would have been deeply honored to have his name spoken along with yours tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. From Prospect High School, can Christian Nava please join us? Christian Nava is a versatile performer whose talents span theater, vocal, and instrumental music and competitive speech at Prospect High School. A four-year member of concert, symphonic, and marching bands, as well as multiple vocal ensembles, he has served as trumpet section leader, primary male vocal leader, and director of the a cappella group You Got Mail. On stage, Christian has taken lead roles in Something Rotten, Mamma Mia, Legally Blonde, and R&J, Fast Then Furious, while earning selections to ILMEA All-State Honors Vocal Jazz and Honors Jazz ensembles. Beyond performance, he mentors and coaches peers on the speech team and inspires fellow students through his dedication and leadership. Christian's creativity, enthusiasm, and contributions across the arts make him a standout student at Prospect High School. Congratulations, Christian. Christian. If you'd like to stand on the side at the end, we will have a group photo with the students. So we'll do individual first. From Elk Grove High School, Emma Tauscher. Emma, come on up. Emma is a talented and innovative artist who has excelled across visual art and technical theater while demonstrating remarkable leadership and commitment. A four-year member of the technical theater crew at Elk Grove High School, she has contributed to every play, musical, and variety show, focusing on set construction, design, and sound engineering. In visual art, Emma has earned numerous distinctions, including Best in Show, Painting, at the Art Connected exhibition, first place in the Daily Herald Art and Writing Contest, multiple awards at the Harper Art Show, and recognition in the District 214 Animation 4D competition. She has also contributed her technical and artistic talents to major school events such as Orchesis, the Lunar New Year program, the Arts Unlimited Reception, and the Festival of Cultures. Emma's professionalism, creativity, and dedication to excellence set a high standard of the program and inspire younger artists to strive for their best. Congratulations, Emma. Congrats. From John Hersey High School, Sam Fry. Sam Fry is a dynamic and committed leader in the arts whose impact spans theater, choir, and multimedia at John Hersey High School. Since his freshman year, he has excelled as an actor, director, and dance captain in theater, earning numerous awards for outstanding performances in shows including Grease, Puffs and Peter, and The Starcatcher. Sam is also a core member of the choir, on stage, and Dickens Carolers, bringing leadership, energy, and artistry to every performance. In addition, he has served as webmaster for the Multimedia Communications Program, collaborating with peers to enhance school productions and events. Sam's enthusiasm, imagination, and generosity of spirit make him a standout contributor to the Hersey arts community and someone his peers naturally look up to. Congratulations, Sam. From Rolling Meadows High School, Sydney Carlson. Sydney Carlson is an accomplished musician and theater artist who has shared her talents with Rolling Meadows High School Music Department and Theater Program. As a collaborative pianist, composer, and director, she excels both as a performer and behind the scenes on a variety of school and community projects. Sydney's innovation, dedication, and positive energy have enhanced countless performances and initiatives, earning admiration from teachers and peers. She displays artistic and emotional maturity beyond her years and has inspired others through her leadership and mentorship. Sydney will major in piano performance with a focus on accompaniment and music direction for theater at Millikan University. Her commitment and impact through the arts exemplify the spirit of the Richard W. Kalish Award. Congratulations, Sydney. From Wheeling High School, Sean Fielding. Sean Fielding is a creative and skilled performer whose talents span vocal music, musical theater, media, dance, and speech at Wheeling High School. A four-year member of the vocal program and Mosaic Musical Theater Ensemble, he has earned recognition through the ILMEA District 7 and all-state choruses, qualified for state and speech, and helped lead the production of Ride the Cyclone to the state level. Sean has also excelled behind the scenes in WCAT media, video editing, and social media management. Beyond performance, he has choreographed dances for orchestras and contributed throughout all 4 years of the D214 summer musicals as a soloist and dance captain. Sean's leadership, artistry, and dedication have elevated every program he touches, making him a standout member of the Wheeling arts community. Congratulations, Sean. Thank you. I also would like to mention tonight that Peter Kim from Buffalo Grove High School was unable to make it. So students, if we could just do one more group photo, come on over, and board members and everyone would like to join them.
Thank you, Mr. Kalish, for coming.
Next up, we're going to have partner recognition. Will Board President Fiorito and Vice President Vicki Chung please join us and Dr. Rowe for partner recognition. I'd also like to invite forward Nancy Boncino, Volunteer Services Manager from Ascension. Tonight, we are proud to recognize Ascension as an invaluable community partner for our Healthcare Pathways program. The partnership between Ascension and the Center for Career Discovery began in 2023 when Ascension Election Brothers Hospital started hosting district interns. Since then, they have mentored over 30 interns in our healthcare pathway. Our students consistently speak highly of the work experience they receive under their guidance. This past year, Ascension expanded its partnership with the district by accepting 4 CNA apprentices, 2 each at St. Alexius Hospital in Hoffman Estates and the Election Brothers Rehab in Elk Grove Village. Our student apprentices are gaining hands-on frontline experience as CNAs, skills that will give them a significant competitive advantage as they transition into post-secondary nursing programs and healthcare careers. By providing these professional work opportunities, Ascension is helping our students build the skills they need to lead the next generation of healthcare. We thank them for their dedication to our community and our future graduates. Thank you.
Okay, next item is the public hearing on driver education. So I got something to read here. At 7:26 PM, the public hearing for the proposed waiver of Illinois School Code regarding driver education courses is now open. This hearing provides an opportunity for the public to address the Board of Education regarding the proposed waiver. Illinois School Code 105 ILCS 527-24.3 mandates that a driver education courses provide for 6 hours of practice driving in a dual-controlled vehicle. District 214's requested waiver would allow the district to provide a minimum of 3 hours of instruction in a dual-controlled vehicle and 18 hours of practice driving in a state-approved simulator system, in lieu of up to 3 hours of instruction in a dual-controlled vehicle. Before applying for this waiver, the Board of Education must hold a public hearing at a meeting of the school board in which the terms are presented and an opportunity for public comments must be provided. I will now open up public comment based on the proposal presented. Is there anyone here who wishes to address the board regarding the proposed waiver? Okay. At 7:27, this concludes the public hearing for the proposed waiver for driver education instruction for Township High School District 214. The board will be taking action on this item later this evening. Thank you. Okay, next on the agenda are the consent items. Can I get a motion and a second? Oh. I stand corrected, my apologies. We have public comment. We have one person that has signed up for public comment. Got something to read. I'm sure, Mr. Bennett, you've heard this before, but I'll read it again. The Board of Education and the district value comments from the community at our meetings, as well as emails. We appreciate everyone appearing before the board and treat all with the courtesy and respect. The Board of Education asks each person to please limit all of their comments to 3 minutes. However, if several people want to address the board on similar topics, the board president may limit the time to 2 minutes per person. The public comments on agenda items will be the only time that the Board of Education will hear public comments during tonight's meeting. Although comments may be on almost any matter related to the operation of schools, comments will not be allowed to identify individual students or staff members. This is the Board of Education business meeting, the board practice is not to respond to public questions or comments at this time because this is not an open-ended forum. However, we do listen carefully. If requested, a written response will be provided. Please ensure that Mrs. Marini has your full name and email address on the sign-up sheet. To be very consistent to all addressing the board, the same protocols and procedures must be in place for everyone. The green light indicates your time has started. The yellow light indicates 30 seconds remaining, and the red light indicates 3 minutes have expired. Please come forward to the microphone and clearly state your name for the minutes. Thank you for your comments. Mr. Bennett.
Hello, Superintendent Rowe, Associate Superintendent Yulee, Board, Staff, and Community. I'm Lee Bennett. The IHSA tournament brackets for spring sports are set, so the planning for next year is on deck. Athletic directors will soon determine how to improve things for next year. Here are 4 reasons adding a boys volleyball team is an appropriate improvement. National growth, regional practice, student interest, and student behavior. Due to a path dependency problem, school sports offerings are out of balance with student interests. Schools provide less support for boys volleyball than other offerings with similar levels of interest. This is changing. Last summer, NCAA rules were updated to allow as many men's volleyball scholarships as women's get. The NCAA provides 6 sports exclusively for women as an alternative to football. The much smaller program here has 4 such competitive sports and several other girls-oriented athletic activities. Boys volleyball no longer needs to be limited in order to be fair for the girls. In our nation's high schools, more states are sanctioning boys volleyball. In the last few years, Indiana, Ohio, South Carolina, Utah, Missouri, Kentucky, and now North Carolina have done so. Our schools implemented this sport over 30 years ago, just ahead of sanctioning by Illinois. But the District 214 program has not grown with the sport. We are behind the surrounding public school conferences, which already provide boys 4 levels of play. Surveys of our students' interests show that volleyball is one of the most popular sports with total interest similar to basketball. More important than this stated preference, students reveal their preference by trying out. Even after keeping more boys per team than girls volleyball, we cut a higher percentage of boys volleyball players than any other sport. All our feeder districts are offering boys an equal opportunity to play this sport, and I personally attest that the middle school boys are playing. Why does this opportunity end for so many of them freshman year? Please add another boys volleyball team. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett. Next up is Superintendent Report.
All right, thank you, Mr. Fiorito. I have just a few items I just want to highlight as we plan to close the school year. Next Friday is our last day of school. Graduation season is upon us, and District 214 will embark on a new location this year at the Now Arena. Our graduation teams have put in considerable effort and planning into this event and the communications that we've seen, and I just wanted to commend them on the work behind the scenes to make the change occur. I am excited for the new venue. I think that you will see a positive improvement, was my hope. But I wish all of our graduates and their families a tremendous experience, and I look forward to celebrating with them beginning Sunday. The second topic is our Phase 3 surveys are coming to a close of our facility planning efforts. And I wanted to extend a public thank you to our community for the feedback. We had tremendous feedback both in our online surveys as well as the phone surveys. A significant increase in terms of the number of phone surveys taken. So I appreciate people answering and sticking with that phone call. And I hope that our community sees how seriously we are taking the feedback, and they see our response to that feedback in the actions and how we've prioritized the needs for our schools. I look forward to seeing the results, and we anticipate bringing the details and the results to the board for discussion next month. And then the last thing I want to share is as we wrap up year 1 of the implementation of our strategic plan, I'm proud to say that we are on track to achieve many of our goals. The team sitting around this table has done an exceptional job coordinating efforts with staff to accomplish those goals. And I look forward to sharing our year 1 data with you all very soon. We'll hope to give a preview of some of the work behind the scenes, maybe without all the final data, but a lot of the work can be explained at our upcoming State of the District event in a couple of weeks. So it's been a good year in terms of progress in our strategic plan, and I'm really proud of the progress and growth that we've made. Thank you.
Okay. Next up is board member updates. Who would like to go first? Okay, Mr. Dustling.
Thank you. Tonight, my report will not be about attendance at various activities. I want to recognize 2 people who've done so much for students. Al and Dottie Skarkowitz have been involved with District Wildstang Robotics since it began over 30 years ago. Their children attended Wheeling High School, and when Wildstang started, that's when they started. Al's an engineer and has been a technical mentor and guide for Wildstang students as they build robots each year. He is recognized by the National First Robotics Organization for his skills and knowledge. At local and national competitions, he has been first engineering inspector, checking the robots in competition to be sure they meet all the engineering specifications and that they are safe. His wife Dottie also participated. She kept records during the competition, and both Al and Dottie have attended just about all local and national competitions to support the Wildstang students. For 30 plus years, over 3,000 students have participated in Wildstang under Al and Dottie's oversight. Al offered his technical engineering skills, and Dottie was like a godmother to the students. She knew most of the students' first and last names and what hopes they had as they moved through Wildstang. When they graduated, she would even contact them to talk with them, to let them know someone cared about them. Al and Dottie established a scholarship for graduating students to assist in their college expenses. The scholarships were awarded at Wild Staying end of the year meeting earlier this week. Unfortunately, Dottie passed away earlier this month. She will be dearly missed for her care and attention to all the Wild Staying students for so many years. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Anyone else? A lot of stuff going on. Go ahead, Alva.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Bill. Yes, Dottie will be sorely missed. I remember when I always walked into the regional here, always had a big smile on her, big hug, and yes, she will be dearly missed. So end of year, a lot of celebrations going on. We had the wonderful salute to staff and a great opportunity to hear about the wonderful staff we have around the district, and attended 3 parent meetings at Prospect, Hersey, and Elk Grove. And of course, winding down, and a salute to all the parent groups around the district for all that they do. And a few of us were at the NJROTC Awards night, and that's always a great night. All the presenters handing out several awards, and seeing all the cadets and their families. And the parent group up there is really fantastic. They have dinner for the cadets every Wednesday, and they do a lot of work, and they were recognized at the award ceremony. And how about that pack house? Wow, in Mount Prospect. 2 years in the making, and I was told that they already had several offers during construction, and look forward to the next pack house, which I believe is in Rolling Meadows. Several of us attended the special schools graduation. A lot of smiling faces going on, and it reminded me, tonight I was at handing out an award at an elementary school, and I was talking about this, and I was saying about where would we be without this? Where would those students be without the specialized schools students? And very happy campers to be graduating. The apprenticeship recognition, great, recognizing the students that participated in the program, as well as the vocational student recognition over at the Marriott. A lot of smiling faces, and congrats to everyone. Thank you, Mr. Fiorito.
Okay, anyone else? Go ahead, Vicki.
Yes, so there were so many amazing events this month. I'm just going to highlight a few. So first, District 214's Black Teen Empowerment Summit was earlier this month. Their theme was Rise Up, Lift Up, and Level Up. So it was a really high energy celebration of student leadership and empowerment, and the seniors received stoles to wear at graduation. So I just want to say kudos to Amy Ralph and Dr. D. Williams for putting it all together. And last week, the District 214 Asian Students Association hosted an Asian American and Native Hawaiian Pacific Islander celebration. So they had awesome food, and they invited a Polynesian dance troupe to perform and teach some dances to the students. So it was a very fun event, and many thanks to Sasamo and everyone who helped organize it. Ms. Kreutzer mentioned the PAC house, the PAC open house. I just want to give a shout out to Gavin Gordon. He is a Hersey senior, and he built the staircase. So if you went and you saw, you were blown away. He's just remarkable, so shout out to him. And then lastly, I agree with Ms. Kreutzer. There are a lot of wonderful things going on with the specialized schools. In addition to some of the graduations that were held last night, the LIFE program held their exit party on Tuesday meeting. It was a really meaningful ceremony and reception. So thank you to Katie Druger and everyone in the LIFE program for organizing it. And then there was also a talent show by the specialized schools last month. And not only were the performers fantastic, but Alexa and Nikki, they were the 2 student MCs. They really did a phenomenal job welcoming everyone and helping everyone feel special. So kudos to them as well.
Okay, gotta have something else. Joe.
All right, so last week, I believe it was, I was given the opportunity to participate in the mock interviews for the LIFE program here, and they also held a job fair in this room. So that was a great opportunity where we could, there was several folks there who were doing the interviews who said it was the best day of the year for them, and I have to agree. It was wonderful to sit down with the students and ask them a few standard interview questions, take notes, chat with them a little bit, just give them a chance to practice those soft skills of interviewing and things that they may not get a chance to do beyond the work tasks and prepare them for the future. So that was a great opportunity. And then I also attended the Kirk School Transitions graduation and the Kirk School High School graduation and the Special High School graduation. So it is a busy time, and as the parent of a senior, all of my fellow parents out there with graduating seniors, we will get through this next week. This is the week we're gonna get through.
Okay, Mary Kay.
So it was really great seeing so many celebrations throughout the month. It was really, this is Maycember. And there's something going on all the time right now, and I know how exhausting it can be for the staff and the administration, and I appreciate all of the effort. And I'm looking forward to seeing what graduation at Now Arena looks like. But I just wanted to highlight that in addition to what Alva said about the NJ ROTC awards, one of the things I found really moving was how many community organizations come out to support our students. There was a huge section in the gymnasium just for the different organizations that give scholarships and awards that recognize how much our NJROTC students excel. It was great to see that. That kind of community support means so much to the students, and these kind of programs couldn't exist without that kind of community engagement. So that was very moving.
Okay, I get the last word. So I am just going to say a thank you to everybody around this table. As been said so many times tonight, there are so many events almost every night of the week, except for Saturdays and Sundays. You can find something going on in our school district. And what I find just really, I'm really impressed by is the fact that many of you at this table, in fact, all of you at this table, are willing to get out there and to attend these events. It means a lot. It really does. It says a lot about your commitment to the district, and I think it's really positive. And it goes for our staff members here too. So thank you all for attending, and I wish you all the best of luck in your graduation ceremonies as well. Okay. All right, next item on the agenda is the consent items. Item 12, I kind of mentioned that about 15 minutes ago just to get everybody just anticipating it. So can I get a motion and second for the consent items?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, moved by Alva, second by Mr. Dessling. Is there anything that anybody would like pulled or discussed? Okay, hearing no words, can I get a roll call, please?
Kreutzer?
Aye.
Dessling?
Yes.
Baldino?
Yes.
Chung?
Yes.
Heineman?
Aye.
Sager?
Aye.
Fiorito?
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Okay, next roll call action items. First one up is the approval of food services salaries. And that would be Justin.
So this is an annual approval for our food and nutrition service staff employees for their wages for next year. Increases that they've received have followed the ESP agreements, and this year is no different. So we are recommending to the board a 3% increase on base for these staff members, plus step advancement. Step in this salary schedule ranges from about 1.4 to 1.7%. So the total increase for the staff members ranges from 4.4% to 4.7%.
Okay. Any questions? Okay. Can I get a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
That was Kreutzer and Chung. Roll call, please.
Kreutzer?
Aye.
Chung?
Yes.
Baldino?
Yes.
Dessling? Heineman?
Aye.
Sager?
Aye.
Fiorito?
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Okay, next item is the approval of the custodial and maintenance personnel CMA agreement. That would be Kate.
Asking for the board's approval on a contract for the CMA. It passed the CMA voting just in the last couple days. It provides some long-term, I think, stability to the members of the CMA, as well as some financial predictability for the board with the CPI raise.
Can I get a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Dustling, second by Kreitzer. Any questions for Kate?
Not for Kate, but I do thank you, Kate, and your team, and I want to thank Mr. Fiorito, who was the board rep for the CMA, and really appreciate all the hard work that you all did. Thank you.
Yep, it was a great experience. I got to meet a few new people on the CMA side. I got to know more about what they do and how important they are to our organization. And I thank you for your leadership, Kate. Really appreciate it. Okay, roll call, please.
Dustling?
Yes.
Kreutzer?
Aye.
Baldino?
Yes.
Chung?
Yes.
Heineman?
Aye.
Sager?
Aye.
Fiorito?
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
Next is the approval of the driver education waiver, and that would be Dr. Rowe.
All right, thank you. Following the hearing earlier today, just as a refresher, what we're seeking is the opportunity to request a waiver from the state of Illinois. If that waiver is approved, we would begin investigating simulators to be added to our classrooms. If they work out financially and our staff selects the simulators they'd like to work with, the possibility does exist that we could implement that at some point this school year in a pilot classroom, just so that staff gets comfortable with it and students and monitor their experience. However, if we use it this year, it will not replace any behind-the-wheel time. It would be more of just allowing our staff members to become acclimated with how they can incorporate it into their instruction. But looking forward to seeing it in action. Thank you.
Okay, I need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Chung, second by Alva Kreitzer. Any questions or comments?
Dr. Rowe, have you seen one of these?
I have not seen it in action personally, no.
Okay.
I know we have collaborated with districts that are currently using them and in practice, and they rate their experience very high.
Okay, thank you.
Dr. Sager?
Yeah, I just want to point out for the public, this isn't deja vu. We are doing this again. There was a form issue that just, we're repeating the process to make sure everything matches the Illinois requirements.
Yeah, and I do want to give a little shout out to Vicki Marini, who caught a little something in our waiver, and we were able to make sure that we had all our ducks in a row. So thank you, Vicki. Okay, roll call, please.
Chung?
Yes.
Kreutzer?
Aye.
Baldino?
Yes.
Dustling?
Yes.
Heineman?
Aye.
Sager?
Aye.
Fiorito?
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Okay, next up is 14.1, business of the board. First one is policy 7-1, or I should say 7:100, health, eye, and dental examinations, immunizations, and exclusion of students. That would be you, Dr. Rowe.
All right, so as you'll remember, last month, Mr. Dustling requested that we pull this from the press packet to have a further discussion about it. And at his request, he asked that we investigate whether or not, that policy stated that a 30-day window be given to out-of-state and out-of-country transfers to obtain all necessary immunizations. And he requested that we investigate whether or not we could apply the same standard we do to in-state transfers, that a first-day exclusion be implemented, that all immunizations be required in order to start school. So we did this investigation, and we actually don't have, administratively don't have a disagreement with the point that Mr. Dustling was making. We would prefer that all students be properly immunized when they begin school. And Mrs. Kendrick and our specialized schools team in particular does an exceptional job at coordinating community resources to support our families that are in need of those appointments. And they help either expedite in terms of getting an appointment, or even we'll bring the Ronald McDonald House van here to offer those immunizations in a very quick turnaround. Our research did show that the policy is in line with what state law says. And state law says that if an out-of-state or a family from out of the country has an appointment scheduled, that it is the school's responsibility to give them the 30-day window in order for that appointment to be fulfilled. If no appointment is scheduled, then the first day exclusion could occur, but that is law. So the policy is in line with that law. I think that, I'd welcome any comments from the board and what you'd like us to do, but we are bound by what the law says, even if our heart says we want to do something a little bit more restrictive. That being said, I welcome the discussion.
Any questions or comments? Go ahead, Bill.
I don't want to belabor and take the board's time, but I want to state this. I am dissatisfied with the current policy for the health, eye, dental, and immunizations, in particular with the 30-day window that's in that policy. And there's a couple of reasons for my dissatisfaction. First, as a district, we have always made a focus on providing an environment that's safe and secure for students and staff. Permitting students transferred in a 30-day window to provide proof of vaccinations allows the possibility of someone entering our schools that has a disease or sickness that will affect the students and staff. Second, students from the community that must provide proof of vaccinations and a physical before they start any school year. We have a double standard going on, and it's by law, obviously. There is a state law that establishes the 30-day window for transferring in students to show proof of vaccinations. We have no option but to follow the law. But I disagree with the law and believe that the 30-day window in the law creates a potential for harm to students and staff. I must compliment Kara Kendrick, our Associate Superintendent for Student Services, as you said, Dr. Rowe, the school counselor and administrators for their work with transferring students' families so they meet the 30-day window and proof of vaccinations. But there are still students during that 30-day window that are in our schools without proof of vaccinations. If there is an outbreak of some disease or sickness traced to a transfer in a student that transferred within the 30-day window, those that establish the law will have their umbrellas up and will remain dry, while we'll be the ones down here getting hammered. Thank you.
Anyone else? Vicki?
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Rowe, and obviously Ms. Kendrick and everyone for looking into this. And thank you, Mr. Dustling, for bringing it up last month. I think for me, it was very much worth thinking through this issue of student health and safety on the one hand and student access to school on the other. And you want to have a balance, obviously, within the confines of the law. And so, you know, as a district, we want to remove any barriers to access to education for our students while still ensuring, you know, the safety of those there, of those in our schools, and making sure that we have the required, you know, paperwork and health records and all of that. So it sounds like it's a little bit of a moot point because we're kind of up against, you know, we want to follow what the law says. So although we can't change it, I appreciate, again, Mr. Dustling, your points, but probably it's in the district's best interest if we just remain as is. Yeah.
Anyone else? Okay, thank you both for your well-thought-out comments. Okay, next one is 14.2.1.
If you don't mind, so we will have to approve the policy, so we'll bring it back as an action item at the next meeting. Thank you.
14.2.1, the Rolling Meadows High School solar panel contract. Is that you, Chris?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you. And well, this has been years in the making, a lot of prep on the front end, and I'm going to invite Becky and Aaron up, who are here in the late summer, early fall to discuss the RFP, the request for proposal process for the solar rooftop solution at Rolling Meadows, and just give some very quick context. They're going to dive into this through a presentation, and then we'll have plenty of time at the end for all the questions. Becky and Aaron, the NEA Energy Advisors, they're the district's energy consultants. They guided us, facilitated us through this RFP process, along with some other things they do for the district. And again, we opened this up in October. Then we had a district evaluation team which included board member Heineman, along with administrators at the district, that ultimately led to the proposal that we're presenting tonight. And I just want to note that our legal team was led by Franzik and Brian Crowley, and that's really been the last 3 months has been the negotiation of the contract that I think has since been finalized since in the last few days. Justin and I have been also coordinating on that as well.
Yeah, I think in the last 24 hours.
Okay.
It may have been finished.
So I know we shared like an up-to-date red line version. We have since kind of, I think, cleared those last few hurdles. So I think we're in very good shape and ready to talk about it tonight. And I'll turn it over to Becky and Aaron.
All right, thank you.
Great to see you all again. Can't believe that it's been, I looked it up, it was September, middle of September that we were here last describing this process. So great to see you all again, and thank you for having us out. I'm Becky Thompson. Aaron Raftery is my colleague, and thank you for the introduction, Chris. So yeah, back in September, we described a little bit about the process for solar procurement, and at that time, we discussed looking at this for Rolling Meadows High School, specifically what's called a power purchase agreement, meaning that there's no issuance of debt, there's no out-of-pocket capital, and so this will be an arrangement with the developer, the installer of the solar, and the district would pay that developer directly over the term of the contract for any energy that is created over the term of that contract. So the RFP, the request for proposals, went out in October. In order to participate and submit a response to that, you had to attend a mandatory on-site meeting where you actually looked at the building, did a site walk, and were able to evaluate. So it's a very preliminary kind of, where is the electrical box, that kind of thing. Turnout was great. We had 12 firms, multiple individuals from those firms, so it was pretty large undertaking, quite a few people that did attend. And then subsequently, that RFP did close the end of November, and we had 5 qualified proposals received, which we were really pleased with given the tight deadlines around some of the federal tax incentives. Again, with that power purchase agreement, a lot of the risk for financially achieving those federal tax incentives would be on the developer. So there is a great risk with some of the deadlines that they're facing. And so those 5 proposals we were really pleased to receive. And so through that, then we did the evaluation and scored them on multiple factors. With the request for proposals under the state procurement code for this particular type of procurement model, it is not a low bid scenario like a normal construction kind of bid. So price is a large consideration, but it's not the only consideration. So while they do receive quite a bit of points for being competitively priced, that is not the only indicator. So you see some of the other things here, their technical qualifications, experience in the field, have they installed in Illinois and specifically with school districts, understanding the process and how that's maybe a little bit different from the private sector. And so through that scoring process, we then identify the top 3 proposals and then invite them for an in-person interview, which we did conduct in December, as Chris mentioned, with that evaluation team, where each proposer was able to provide a presentation about their company, introduce us to various members within their organization, and then engage in a period of question and answers. And then through that, the drum roll, I will pass this over to Aaron, my colleague, who will describe Verde Solutions, which was the top-ranked proposal.
Okay, thank you, Becky. Yeah, so like Becky said, our after the evaluation process is concluded, we are recommending Verde Solutions as the top-ranked proposer. Verde scored extremely. I think we shared with the board the evaluation matrix, so you can see the results of that. Verde scored very high in all 4 of the categories, both pricing, the technical components of the proposal, the qualifications and experience of the firm, and then as well as having a local team that's highly qualified to build the project. In addition to scoring very highly in our scoring criteria, Verde is also owned by a former graduate of Rolling Meadows High School. That didn't factor into our scoring criteria. We don't really have a place for that in our matrix, but that's very that's an important thing I think to point out here. The firm is owned by an individual that graduated in 2000. We'll talk a little bit more about the firm on the next slide. As far as the project updates, it's a little bit larger system size than we had conservatively estimated when we were back here before. If you remember, our goal was to provide conservative estimates at that time and have the project improve, not get worse as we come back to you. So it's a little bit larger system, can offset a little bit more of the annual electricity needs of the school. We're estimating about 65% of the annual electricity needs will come from the solar array. And like Becky said, this is a power purchase agreement. This isn't a capital purchase, so it really just comes down to what's the cost of the solar power that they're willing to offer you. And in this case, they offered a 3.79 cents per kilowatt hour fixed rate for 25 years. So there's no market fluctuation. It doesn't go up in any way over the duration of the contract. And for comparison purposes, you're currently paying more than twice that for grid power. And as we all know, grid power is going up considerably, right? And so we would expect that the difference between those two rates to go up considerably more. So it's not going to provide all of your solar, it's going to provide all of your energy, it'll provide 65% or so, so you still will be buying some energy from the grid, but should be significant savings, and we're estimating it's a little under $3.5 million total program savings over the 25-year contract duration. This is a little bit about Verde Solutions. We just snipped right from their proposal presentation, so this is not something that we put together for you. The thing that I kind of wanted to touch on here is Verde is a local company. Like I said, that came from the district, or the owner came from the district. By no means is this kind of a small local mom and pop type of business. There's nothing wrong with mom and pop businesses, but that's not what we're dealing with here. This is a very successful local company. It's considerable growth, year-over-year growth since they were founded, and they've got a great track record as far as energy projects being delivered. So this is, like I said, a very successful local company. And then as far as the timing, realize you probably can't see that very well. This is the project schedule that Verde submitted as part of their proposal response. Big picture is it's a 59-week construction from start to finish, and so assuming the contracts are in place in June or so, we'd expect the project to be wrapping up towards the end of next summer. Is when the system will be turned on and when you start seeing the savings. And then this is the last slide. We were asked to talk a little bit about some of the roof factors. Just a reminder that as a part of the RFP specifications and part of the contract negotiations requiring that the project be installed in such a way that there's no impact on the roof warranty. And so the reason why Verde is able to offer that and why we're able to require that of them is because this is a ballasted solar array, meaning it's weighed down by ballast blocks. It's not actually anchored to the roof surface itself with significant number of attachment points, right? It's actually weighed down. And we have a picture on the right there where you can see kind of what that looks like underneath the panels. There's ballast trays that the ballasts sit inside. The racking, the panels will attach to the racking that's connected to those ballast trays. The ballast trays have feet that are on the surface of the roof. And then in between the ballast feet and the roof surface itself is something called a slip sheet, which is actually a layer of roof membrane that's the same material as your roof surface. And so there's actually the racking system is not actually in contact with your roof surface at all. It's sitting on these slip sheets, and so that's why they're able to maintain the roof warranty. So that's just to give you, a lot of times this is a concern with rooftop solar arrays, what's it gonna do to my roof? And it should be minimal to no impact, and if anything, it should potentially prolong the life of the roof. So there's a little note there. And happy to answer any questions if there are any questions about the project.
Any questions for Becky or Aaron? Alva?
Okay, I'm going to preface this by saying I know nothing about this, so if I ask really dumb questions, I apologize. There's a couple things. How many schools have you done in Illinois? Do you know that?
How many schools has Verde done in Illinois? Yep. I want to say it's probably like 2 or 3 were on their list as far as the number of schools themselves. There were municipalities that were as part of their project resume, and quite a bit of commercial projects as well.
Okay. Yep. So you said 59 weeks. Do you have to be in the building at all?
But the significant portion of the on-site construction work will be on the roof itself. There will be some work inside the building in the electrical rooms when they're, so yes, there will be some work inside, and typically those are done off hours, so there's no disruption to the school operations.
So you'll coordinate that with operations. Okay. So I see it's one-time installation. What's the warranty, or how often are panels replaced?
So one of the attractive features of a power purchase agreement compared to a typical capital purchase or construction project is the solar provider actually owns the solar array that's constructed in a building, and they're responsible for all operations and maintenance, and so they hold the warranty. They have to process any warranty claims that take place. And the cost for all that operations and maintenance and warranty fulfillment is actually included in that energy rate. So that 3.79 cents per kilowatt hour that you're paying for the solar power also covers all operations and maintenance over the life of the contract as well. So there's, yeah, that's a.
Gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha. Okay, so I have a colleague that is from Kewanee, Illinois, and he told me his woes about a tornado came through, and they had solar, and solar wouldn't replace it, and the insurance wouldn't replace it, so they were kind of stuck. But I think your explanation of how it's secured or not secured to the roof is probably something I need to ask him, because this doesn't sound, because the panels broke and they went through the membrane of the roof. And I see that you don't have tornado in here. You have hurricane, but you don't have tornado. I think we have more tornadoes than hurricanes up here.
Yeah.
So I think maybe that should be added, but I'm going to let you speak to that.
I'm not sure the document you're referring to with the hurricane versus the tornado.
It's under,
Is that the contract document?
course, I don't know how to say this, Mesure event?
Oh, the
And
contract.
it talks about, let me read you it. Economic terrorism, sanction, let's see. Fire, earthquake, abnormal weather conditions, or actions of the elements of or nature, hurricane, flood, lightning, wind, epidemic, pandemic, et cetera, but not tornado.
We can confirm that
Can you-
through Brian Crowley,
Yeah,
yes.
I think you can strike hurricane and put tornado
Sure,
in.
that's
Yeah.
fair. Thank you.
Okay, let me see, I'm looking at my, and you, I guess, Chris, I'm kind of like, you sent me what Meadows has cost over a 5-year period, and I was kind of assuming, now I said, my knowledge of this is limited because I know 2 people, but those are residential homes, and how their electric bill is like minimal, nothing, but we're still going to be paying electric. And I understand the difference, the $379 and the $780. So it seems like it's going to be $140,000 a year, if you cost estimate, that you'll be saving in electricity over the years. But you still have a big electricity bill in the end.
Yeah, and I think, Aaron, feel free to jump in, but I think from my perspective, it's all about that cost per kilowatt rate, which, I just read in the newspaper, it's gonna go up again this summer. And I think a lot of the power needs with data centers are impacting that. And so I think maybe we could put a projection together, but I think it's difficult when you don't know the rate, the future rate. And I think all we know is that the power needs aren't going away. And there'll continue to be a drain on the infrastructure. And it looks like you're ready to say something as well, so feel free to jump in.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the benefits of the power purchase agreement, so I'm also the consultant for the district for natural gas and electricity procurement. And so I'm in the market every single day watching energy prices. It's riveting. But one of the things that we're noticing, with data center integration, electrification of vehicles, manufacturing moving to automated systems, currently our demand is outpacing our supply, which is really the simplest way to explain why energy prices continue to go up. So even as your energy consultant for your electricity and natural gas, I cannot come to you and offer you a 25-year fixed contract with a guaranteed no price increase over the term of that contract, which is one of the greatest benefits of this power purchase agreement. So regardless of what happens in the energy space, for 65% for 2/3 of your energy needs for this high school, that is a stabilized price cost that you can budget for year over year for 2 decades.
Okay, thank you. That's all. Thank you, Mr. Friederito.
Mary Kay?
I just had a quick follow-up question, and I'm not sure who could answer this, but are there any opportunities for our students to learn about solar power that are connected to these projects?
There are actually, there's some built into the contract.
Yeah, we didn't include it. I think there's a possibility that Verde may come to the next board meeting. That's if the board and administration would like that. And so Verde did offer some internships and as well as quite a few learning experiences for students as part of the project delivery. That's fairly non-traditional to have that. And so I think that's just part of the reason because the owner, again, is from the community, right? And so he's really motivated to make the project a success. Even outside of that, there's opportunities for like science teachers, motivated teachers to bring the solar array into the curriculum. There's a monitoring dashboard available. So there's quite a few opportunities in addition to the offers from Verde as well.
Thank you. It's great that our students have an opportunity to learn about, all of the different kinds of energy sources and how this is going to impact the future. Thanks.
Dr. Sager?
So thank you for all your work on this and for everybody in the district who's worked on this for a while. I just wanted to speak briefly on the advantages of doing a power purchase agreement versus a system purchase, right? So there's essentially when you go into buying solar panels, you could just buy the solar panels and put them on the roof and run them yourself, in which case you get all the energy for that upfront cost. But they have a fairly long payback time, right? So there's a large upfront cost, and the savings is immediate for that 65%, but that requires a large upfront cost for the district, and we don't have that, right? Or it would be irresponsible for us to spend that money directly on an investment that's going to pay off 7 to 15 years in the future, right? Because that's the typical payoff time for solar panels. So doing a power purchase agreement lets us partner with somebody who purchases the solar panels, and we let them use our space, where we then benefit from cheaper electricity without that upfront cost. So they're putting forward the risk. I just had a couple of quick questions. For the savings, the estimated 3.5 million over 25 years, what was the rate that was used? Is it the current rate or?
So we use the current rate and then we applied a 2% inflationary adjustment to the current rate. So again, like our estimates, our intention is to be conservative. Yep.
That is why I ask. So I would offer everybody to think, do they expect that electricity is only going to go up at 2%? And that's the expected save, right? The expected savings is probably higher than that throughout the term of the contract. So yeah, this is great. And then the question was asked, what do we do about the other electricity that we don't cover with this? And we've had some discussions with Narnia about other options of getting that rate down.
From my seat, just for the things what I'm most maybe surprised by, but excited about, is we were intrigued by this opportunity when we thought Rolling Meadows, who was the highest percentage of coverage that we could get, was going to bring us almost 40% energy savings, and they were able to get 65. So that, if I'm translating that to the other buildings potentially in the future, if we might be able to get more from our coverage than we originally thought, there is an opportunity for us to continue exploring this. And this is an area that we should continue exploring and pushing the boundaries on, whether it be rooftop solar or maybe opportunities in community solar. We can just lock in and reduce our bill, so that way our dollars can go toward actual learning that we do. But I'm really encouraged by the 65% in terms of the savings. When I was pumped for 40. So thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Chung?
Yeah, so thank you again, Becky and Aaron, for coming tonight. Thank you, Mr. Yulee, for all your work in this. Yeah, there's so many amazing things about this proposal. I think Member Baldino made a great point that it's not just the financial benefits and the cost savings, but it's the benefit to our students. It's those, maybe it's not written in stone yet, but it's those internships for the Rolling Meadow students for the next 5 years. It's the scholarship that might also be enacted. So, it's more than just putting solar panels on a roof. It's offering real life learning experiences and, scholarship support to our students, which is great. I did have one question, and maybe it's more for Mr. Yulee. So the termination fees that are pretty high, especially in the beginning. I was just wondering, Are there any realistic scenarios where you could see that happening, or what would be?
Justin and I had the same reaction when we first saw that, and have had conversations about that, and I don't foresee any reason why, unless we decided we don't want them anymore. Other than that, I don't know if you have thoughts either. I think it's just, given the nature of the project setup, where we're not paying for anything, I get why that has to be that way, because the risk is all on them. And if we just decided we're done, then they're on the hook for the cost of that project. So that's why I understand that structure. I don't see any reason why we would.
Thank you.
Okay, I have two questions, one for, either for Chris, or I'm gonna get Annette involved, she looks bored back there. So, first question I have, and this is a recall, from when we did when the board went and looked at the property. I thought I had heard somebody say that Rolling Meadows, consumes more electricity than any of our other buildings, is that true?
That's not true.
Okay. So but they're up there.
Yes, they are up there, and they were over there also because we did have the cooling tower, which this summer will be changed for a chiller system, and that will be way more efficient system, and definitely that will impact the usage of the electricity.
Okay, so my second question, let me see if I can get one right this time. And that is, I'm assuming that, just for clarification, that doing the solar panels on the roof of Rolling Meadows will not in any way, shape, or form impede any capital projects we have in the future regarding the Rolling Meadows roof. Okay.
No.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, thank you, guys. Thank you,
Thanks.
Becky, thank you,
Great
Aaron.
presentation, thank you.
Okay, last we have two informational report items. Freedom of Information Act report, the FOIAs.
For the record, Buffalo Grove's winning the race in terms of energy expense.
They were my first one, so maybe I just
Not by a
was
lot,
not
but
awake
by about $7,000.
Okay, so first was the FOIA report, and the second one was the budget report. Does anybody have any questions regarding those two information items? Okay, since we have no questions, we recessed our closed session, so we are going to re-enter closed session. We do not anticipate any action items coming out, and we hope to make it short. Thank you. Okay, we're back in open session. I just want to wish everybody good luck. Let's see, 7 days? To adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
Second.
By Chung, roll call, please.
Kreitzer? Dessling?
Yes.
Heineman?
Aye.
Sager? 370.
Okay, good night, everyone.